Today I show you how to record and edit a video for YouTube, DaVinci Resolve 18.6. Okay, so first of all, now this is without the separate sound. You see this thing here? Now we're gonna get the good sound on it. This is the PCM A10. Sony PCM A10. Starting to record and hold it, lock it. Okay. Test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2. And to synchronize, I'm gonna clap. Okay. Okay, that goes into the pocket. This is the way to sync. That's synchronized now. And you can hear it. Okay, so I'll show you how I record video in DaVinci Resolve. I'll show you how to make a YouTube video with your phone. Now I have my phone recording. This is the Sony Xperia 1 Mark V, but any phone works, and the sound is always gonna sync well because DaVinci Resolve has a really cool feature where you can synchronize the file, audio file and video file with one click, and I do it with one shortcut. Crossing the street, trying to be safe around here. Oh, from potteries. Okay, this is some pottery place. So I record the video now, starting with the phone and the separate recorder, and the next step will be the camera, recording it with the Panasonic Lumix S5, the original one, not 2 or 2X. I wish 2X, but the original one is okay. And with the separate audio, with this, and to add a twist to it, an interesting spin, I will also add the voiceovers later, so that you can see the whole process, how it works from recording to export and upload to YouTube when it's ready video to upload. I was thinking, first I want to thanks Traveler and PM. I think I did a live. Hope I remember your usernames correctly. I did a live stream on YouTube and we were talking about it. It was a nice discussion, actually, quick chat about computers, and one of these guys suggested that I do try to do a. One of you suggested that I try to do a tutorial about DaVinci Resolve, how to do things in DaVinci Resolve. I can't say that I'm like a professional with it. I'm sure some things I do completely wrong, and I always try to find some good ways so we can have a faster way to get the video uploaded, because I don't want to spend like too much time with it. So we have some shortcuts with how it's called auto hotkey, and I will show you those scripts also. The auto hotkey is really useful. Get my hat off. Auto hotkey is really useful for the shorts, to make the shorts out of the long videos, but otherwise it's not used not much. I wish I could use it more. If you have some suggestions about how to improve, if you have any suggestions about how to improve this workflow, please let me know in the comments below, because it would be really useful for us. What most important part is to using DaVinci Resolve Studio, the paid version 18.6, and using a phone with the separate sound and the camera with the separate sound, and on top of that voiceover recording with the Rode NT1 and Rode AI1. Oh, look, garbage. Here in Cyprus, it's like you find garbage everywhere. There's a sofa and a bed. Sofa, bed. Garbage. So DaVinci Resolve, Rode NT1 and Rode AI1 for your voiceovers. Mobile phone, any mobile phone really works. The recording settings are HLG, 4K 60 frames per second. HLG is HDR. It's a flavor of HDR. Color space, BT 2020, I think it's 2020, and HLG scene 2100. I don't know much about what they mean, but I understand the color space is a little bit bigger than the Rex 709, like the usual 4K SD standard definition, and in HDR they look more vivid and also more brightness. Usually the phone will automatically turn the brightness higher. Some people don't like that. And actually it's really annoying for some situations at night. But in general, the HDR looks much more vivid. The colors, maybe they are slightly different, but I think it's actually almost the same. To my eyes, at least, I can't really tell much of a difference. But the clarity and the brightness, actually, my phone has a 4K screen. I don't know if it turns into 4K because it can, most of the time is in 1080p mode. The Sony Xperia 1 Mark V. But talking too much about it already, let's get into it. This is gonna be a long one, so if you don't stick around, I don't blame you. But if you're interested to make YouTube videos and to use the free version of DaVinci Resolve, I'm not sure if some of the things I show you, if they might apply. But I want to tell you that when I bought the... Oh, there's a small worm. It's one of those centipedes. If you're serious about making YouTube videos or TikToks or Instagram Reels, then you might as well pay the price. It's about, you get the speed editor, DaVinci Resolve speed editor, and with it, it includes DaVinci Resolve Studio license for 2 computers. I thought it's 1, but it's 2. So you can have on the laptop and on a desktop, or on 2 desktops. Doesn't matter. You have two licenses, like two machines, and you pay for about, I think it's about 400 euro for the speed editor. Sound like I'm out of breath. Never walking around. It's about, I think, 400 or 420 for the speed editor, and you get the license with it. And if you don't want to use the speed editor, you can always sell it. I think usually on eBay, people sell them on eBay for about 150, 200. So you get the DaVinci Resolve with 200 euro, like that. But if I was in your place, nice house, nice street here. I have no idea where I am. This is some, oh, art platform, some interesting doors. I cannot barely see anything on the screen. because it's very bright sunlight. But yeah, some art studio they like to make these windows. It's a style. Yeah, so let's get to the next step and go. And I'll show you on the desk how I usually record on the desk with the camera. And also the microphones are. I hear the sound is stereo from the phone, like that. But on the here it's mono, and I use this noise reduction feature from DaVinci Resolve, which is one click noise reduction. It's amazing. And dialogue leveler, I don't know if they make the sound worse, like the quality, or better, but I can't really tell a difference. But the background noise is like magic. It's really like magic. For example, now I will show you without. This is without now. I'm talking, there's a car. There was a car passing. And I will make it without the noise cancelling. I will put it on a separate track. And yeah, all the other ones, they were with now there's another car coming. So now I'm talking and these cars are passing by, but I have the noise cancelling on. And this is with the noise cancelling on. Two cars passed by. Should be like another one. Noise cancelling off. Noise cancelling off. That's all. Let's go inside and see the rest. I'll show you how the video is edited, more or less. This is more about style, actually. It's really your style, how you do it. And I try to do as little as possible. We're trying to make it short and interesting, but can't really spend hours and hours on this, because it's really like just a fun thing. It's not like a TV producing thing. There's also multicam. This video will not be about multicam, but I could make one. If you are interested in this, depending on how this one is going, I could really make an interesting one about multicam, because I did a few times. I did multicam a few times, and it's really interesting, but it would take too long to show both this regular style with one camera and multicam. Let's go inside and check it. There's a cut. Hey. Very specific. There's a cut. Okay. That's all. Okay, I don't know what happened. I wasn't recording with the phone. So, yeah, I think when I pressed in the menu or something, the phone stopped recording, or I'm not sure. Maybe, yeah, this is important. Remember to press record. And yeah. But I did show you before, I can use the video from the camera. But now I have to synchronize it again. Okay. Now this is synchronized, so we have the lights. Okay, this is the setup here. There's one light on the left, one light on the right, camera in the middle, and these kind of like antennas. It's the same microphone capsule as those antennas are the same microphone capsules as this one I'm using here. So it's really the same. This track, what's recorded on this will go, I have a template for Resolve. We use a template for Resolve, and the track on this microphone will go directly automatically to the same track that is synced with the voiceover microphone. Okay, let's turn it around. Okay. Okay, it's still recording, kind of. Okay, so this is how it would be if it gets recorded towards me like that. And I don't use the lights now for me. Usually when I record myself, I try to use the window. Natural light is more easy, and also I put them together. So I actually make the intro. I could be making the intro for 4 or 5 videos in one go. So the settings on the camera here, what's important, HLG 2100, and it's in APS-C mode because it's 4K 60. It will not do 4K 60 in full frame. The camera is full frame, but actually in this case I prefer it like that because I can go closer to the subject, to the object I want to record. So that's gonna be more interesting for you. 180-degree shutter, automatic F. I'm in the movie mode. Hope it's focusing. I'm in the movie mode and it's automatic aperture, so the F number will go up and down to compensate for the, and ISO also, to compensate to keep the shutter speed constant, 180-degree shutter there. And you can see the quality. Don't know, it's stuck. Yeah, I think I moved it. I could move it by mistake easily. So the color, yeah, the color temperature is fixed. These lights are 4000 Kelvin. So I have white balanced set fixed. It's not 3000 Kelvin. These are 3000 Kelvin, 97 CRI. And I have it set at 3000 Kelvin. The other one is set for 4000 Kelvin, the other lights. And when it's automatic white balance, it gets it more or less right, but I prefer to have it more precise. I don't know why it's not showing the menu. Interesting. I'll try to stop the recording. Sometimes it's, I don't know, it's should, yeah, okay, now it's doing it. Okay, everything synchronized the menus. Okay, so the menu, yeah, it's again doing it. ISO is automatic ISO, and yeah, autofocus in the middle. Don't know why it's not showing the. Let's try again. So it's weird, usually it works. Okay, so we have the recording quality, and I have different settings here. If I record in 30 FPS, I will use this one, 72 megabits per second, or megabytes. 10 bit. I use this because I want to be able to use HLG. That's important in the color or quality setting, to use the HLG and not any of the vivid natural color profiles. And I record in MP4. It's I try to keep the file sizes as small as possible. So that's the camera now. Okay, so now I synchronize again to the camera. So this is the okay, I can show you from here. I think that's the microphone. I keep it covered and it's on an arm. It can move inside or outside like that. And the headphones. Okay, so now that I showed you the camera and everything, how it's set up, I'll stop the phone and show you the files on the phone. Okay, recording with the camera and the phone. Okay, so I got back in. Now I do this to synchronize the camera with the audio recorder. I have this on me now. I did that snapping of my fingers to test. I did the snapping of my fingers to synchronize this, the sound from this recorder and the camera. The phone is not recording yet. Now I'm inside and I'm at the desk. This is the little, I really like this little pouch from my Sony PCM 810. And this microphone is a DIY actually. I made it from parts I bought separately. Cable is a Mogami cable, Nutric connector, and the microphone capsule is Primo EM172. Basically the same style of microphone, even the same sound actually. It's the same capsule, the same parts, even the Nutric and the cable, as the LOM USI Pro, or no LOM USI, because it's with the 3.5mm jack. This is a stereo jack, but actually this cable is mono, it's for one only. But I have on the camera now, these ones you're listening now on the right side, and now on the left side you hear from the camera, and now you hear from the recorder, and now from the camera, and recorder. I like to do this A/B test. So recorder, then camera. This video is gonna be really long, and it's really actually it's for, because I made a poll on the channel if anyone is interested, and I saw someone voted that they are making videos. So this video is for you. If you're willing to watch, I don't know, half hour, 40 minutes, how long it's gonna be, it's for you. So I'm going to try to show everything I do about it. So first, let's start with the settings on the phone. The settings on the phone, as you see here, it's 4K 5994 FPS, which is 60 frames per second, but actually this is important to note that it's 5994 and HLG. And I record in stereo from the microphone, from the phone, and the sound on the phone is only used to synchronize, because now I can synchronize the camera, the phone, and the recorder. The best part is they will synchronize. You can even do with your mouth, like some clicking noises. Any sharp noise like this will work to sync later based on the waveform. Yeah, I don't know what to show you here. HLG BT2020 on the phone. Samsung phones also have HLG. I prefer the HLG than the PQ. I don't know why. I prefer that. Anyway, my phone doesn't have PQ, and the camera also doesn't have that PQ, so probably that's why I prefer HLG, because it's the only thing I can use. So this time now we have the phone, the
the recorder and the camera recording. So I want to show you. Now we switch to the phone. I did this before. This is even, you can see me now. Oops. Let's try to, so see the camera. I can do a quick turnaround. And these are the lights. These are desktop lights. I made them. This is it's either coffee or Pepsi, I don't know. Hope nothing goes on the camera. I should really stop drinking this Pepsi. So this is the second light. It's moving, flexible. I'm not super happy about them, but they are working, so. Okay, I don't know what happened. I wasn't recording with the phone. So, yeah, I think when I pressed in the menu or something, the phone stopped recording, or I'm not sure. Maybe, yeah, this is important. Remember to press record. And yeah. But I did show you before, I can use the video from the camera. But now I have to synchronize it again. Okay. Now this is synchronized, so we have the lights. Okay, this is the setup here. There's one light on the left, one light on the right, camera in the middle, and these kind of like antennas. It's the same microphone capsule as those antennas are the same microphone capsules as this one I'm using here. So it's really the same. This track, what's recorded on this will go, I have a template for Resolve. We use a template for Resolve, and the track on this microphone will go directly automatically to the same track that is synced with the voiceover microphone. Okay, let's turn it around. Okay. Okay, still recording, kind of. Okay, so this is how it would be if it gets recorded towards me like that. And I don't use the lights now for me. Usually when I record myself, I try to use the window. Natural light is more easy, and also I put them together. So I actually make the intro. I could be making the intro for 4 or 5 videos in one go. So the settings on the camera here, what's important, HLG 2100, and it's in APS-C mode because it's 4K 60. It will not do 4K 60 in full frame. The camera is full frame, but actually in this case I prefer it like that because I can go closer to the subject, to the object I want to record. So that's gonna be more interesting for you. 180-degree shutter, automatic F. I'm in the movie mode. Hope it's focusing. I'm in the movie mode and it's automatic aperture, so the F number will go up and down to compensate for and ISO also, to compensate to keep the shutter speed constant, 180-degree shutter there. You can see the quality. Don't know, it's stuck. Yeah, I think I moved it. I could move it by mistake easily. So the color, yeah, the color temperature is fixed. These lights are 4000 Kelvin. So I have white balanced set fixed. It's not 3000 Kelvin. These are 3000 Kelvin, 97 CRI, and I have it set at 3000 Kelvin. The other one is set for 4000 Kelvin, the other lights. And when it's automatic white balance, it gets it more or less right, but I prefer to have it more precise. I don't know why it's not showing the menu. Interesting. Okay, everything synchronized the menus. Okay, so the menu, yeah, it's again doing it. ISO is automatic ISO, and yeah, autofocus in the middle. Don't know why it's not showing the again. Okay, so now I synchronize again to the camera. So this is the okay, I can show you from here. I think that's the microphone. I keep it covered and it's on an arm. It can move inside or outside like that. And the headphones. Okay, so now that I showed you the camera and everything, how it's set up, I'll stop the phone and show you the files on the phone. I'm doing the clapping just in case. It's like I'm really a bit agitated with this to make sure the sound is synchronized, because it's important to have this clapping or snapping of fingers to have a good sound. So okay, this is going to be the part that I will edit together. Later I will show it together how it works, and I will take the SD card from the camera, put it in the card reader. I don't have to show you how to copy the files to the computer. With the phone, I have a USB-C cable. With the phone, I have this USB-C cable, goes straight into the USB hub. It's pretty good speed from the phone, so can't complain about that. The files will come out of the phone and out of the recorder and out of the camera in separate folders. I keep recorder rec, and here the name of the phone 1.5, like Sony Xperia 1.5, and the name of the camera is 5. But you can choose however you like, it doesn't really matter. You can also put them all together, but I like to keep them separate. So let's copy the files and go to the desktop. This is going to be a really long video. I don't even know how to do everything together. Like, it's hard to show, like, do at the same time and show you the edit. But I hope this is useful somehow. I think this next part is going to be really important with DaVinci Resolve template settings and important parts. So let's go now. Button, and should do something. Yeah, it doesn't show it, and I have to change the settings and the project to so it doesn't it doesn't play back, because the important thing is not to hear back what you're recording. I hear myself from the audio interface, from the monitor of the audio interface. I would hear in the headphones some sounds that are on the track 1, but not what's on the track 2. And that's because otherwise I will have a delay in the sound and it's going to be very confusing. And now let's play it. Okay, test second desktop, main desktop, the files. Files are there. Okay, so we're on the desktop now. I have the OBS running and recording. So what I can do now, I have two desktops. There are two screens and I can switch between them, or the camera, or different. Now let's see what's this. Okay, so this is the main desktop there, and I copied the files on the computer. I'm really going to try to show you this as good as I can. If you have any questions, please write them in the comment section below. I moved the files from the SD card and I copied the files from the phone, and I'm trying to see if all the files here are for this. So yeah, I recorded the video about getting not overheating in the summer, and they are combined in the same day. So these are the folders. 1.5 is from the phone, rec is from the recorder. These are the files from the recorder, about 200 megabytes, 24-bit WAV file, uncompressed. And this is the OBS folder. It's recording now, and you could see even on the desktop. Okay, test. This is from the previous time, and this is a previous 1, 2, 3 test. Another test recording. And okay, so S5 is going to be the video coming out of the camera, and these are a bit larger, these files. Again. So the files, what I like about HLG HDR is that because my screens are not HDR, and I'm not really like I don't care so much about the color accuracy and everything. So even though I use HDR, I don't do color grading. It's just basic color correction, and I will show you in a minute that actually the screen for me doesn't look very. It's gonna be interesting in this recording actually, if it's because of the screen or if it's because of the output settings. But I don't trust my eyes when I do this Resolve project, because it tends to be a bit yellowish, brownish. But as long as I don't touch the color correction, the camera used the fixed color temperature on the desktop, and the phone is pretty good at the color accuracy, color temperature, so I don't need to play with the white balance. And if I did, probably I would use the vector scopes and the waveforms. Okay, so I have the project here. There is this file, and I will copy the name. This is I'm showing exactly what I do. Now I'm showing exactly how the project is started and how it is completed. So there is a template folder for the channel, and there is also different settings, but the most important thing is this file here. This is a DRP file, DaVinci Resolve project file. So I copy the whole folder, control and drag. Actually, I could enable the mouse pointer so you see better what I'm doing. F2, paste. I put the name of the project. It's very important that you give it a name with date, I believe. Year for 4 digits, year, month, date. This is the format I prefer, so you can sort them very easily in any folder structure in any operating system with the leading 0 and 03, 07, 03, not 2024 73. It's important to be able to use this, and if later you need to find the project files, you can always reference this name. So rename the file, double click to open the Resolve. And what I did, actually, I created a template project, and once it was ready, I saved it. And this is DaVinci Resolve Studio version 18.6. It has some really interesting features. Hopefully OBS is recording. It is. Okay, so now it's importing the project because it's already open there, and we have the two screens, and now it's gonna be a bit difficult to show you these two screens, how to do it. Okay, so this is the screen on the left, and that's the screen on the right. The screen on the left is really my old screen, old display, and I just have this here. It's the file information, folder structure, a few of the sound, like for example when it's in the Fairlight mode. In the Fairlight mode, it will have here on the left, it has the track information, these faders and effects and everything. And on the main one, on the right side, it will have the timeline nicely arranged and all together. So I could switch to one screen, but it's really difficult actually to do that. I don't know if I would be able to do it. And okay, this is already getting long, this video. So first most important thing, I don't use this media browser page. I go straight. This one is one screen view, and I have the files. Where are my files? In the source folder. I have them separate here. We keep them in different folders, the source files and the project files. So drag there. Now the files are there. It's reading them from the disk, and the ones with the P in front are from the Lumix camera, and the ones with S in front are from the phone. That's how it works. That's how I have them. And actually, we could do this one edit in one folder for maybe for both videos. There's one about the hat and another one about, but maybe no. So now this is the tricky part. If they are mixed together. Okay, Windows Control Shift N for a new folder, and I will give it travel hat cooling water, so we know what it's about. So that's the folder for it, and I want to move the files that are related to that video into the other folder, so it should be around here. Based on the date of the file, it's lunchtime when it's recorded, so I could move this here, and I don't really care about, oh, this is one file at 12. I don't really care about the folder structure here. It will be the same all together in one folder. So I put them separate, and if you notice now, some of the files are going to be missing in the Resolve project, so I can really just remove the selected clips or press delete on the keyboard. It will not delete the files on the disk. It will not delete the files on the disk. It only removes them from the Resolve project. Okay, so first here I have these sound files, and if I was going to edit them, you know, I'm gonna switch to one screen, so you can see everything on one screen, because otherwise it's gonna be difficult to show you everything. Ideally with Resolve it's really good to have two screens, because maybe even three, so you have two screens, one for each panel, and another screen with the actual view of the video you're doing. But yeah, okay, so I put this file there, but I didn't want to actually. Okay, what's inside this project? I have one extended, it's the original timeline that I start working on. The one extended file playlist, this timeline. The one extended timeline is the one where everything gets put together, and then the 3H short is just some names I came up with, it doesn't really matter, and 4 shorts is the actual shorts. This one it could have 3-4 videos together, because it's easier to do the HDR processing in one pass, in one video, and then split them in pieces. Okay, so the project settings, really the most important parts here. We have the Fairlight. I have here voice isolation and dialogue leveler on the track 2, A2. So that's where the sound from the recorder will land, and also the sound from the voiceover also will land in there. So by default it will really be ready to go. I have the EQ equalizer set to reduce on the background some of the noises, 75, and this is the equalizer for the voiceover, 65, and nothing else, just like that. Important part here, listen carefully. Okay, on the voice I have how you say it, I have them as templates, this one. So this is the voiceover track and the background track. So what this does is a compressor, and it will make the voice sound a bit more compressed. I don't know how to explain it. Too loud noises will be reduced, very quiet noises would be enhanced a little bit. This makeup is like, I don't know, it increases the volume for me, this is what I understand. Important part is that in sidechain here you have send. So this is the source to tell the other track, which is this one, when to reduce the sound. So this is used for the background, and this is set to listen. And when I talk, the sound in the background will be reduced automatically without anything. It's really like a magic. It's really working well. Those were the settings I really prefer to use like this. Also, there is the limiter on the background, increases the volume 3, maximum minus 2 dB, no, minus 0.2 dB, very, very high. And on the talking, on the voiceover on track 2, This is A1, A2. On track 2 you have the same, basically. It increases the volume 3 and then trims it when it's too loud at almost 0 dB. 0 dB means the lowest, the highest. So it starts from 0 and goes -1, -2. Usually -1, -2, -3, but I put it at 0.2, 0.3. Then there is another limiter on the bus, on the main, the output, the main channel, where all of them are combined, and this one could be higher or lower depending on each recording. So setting is brick wall, not soft. I'm not sure of those settings. Maybe some of them I have them wrong, or don't know. There is a, where was it? Why I can't scroll now? I don't know. Here it's always like difficult. Okay. So I can see, I can hide the meters, and because it's hard with one monitor to see it. I don't know about the order here. I tried to play with them once and I think I didn't do something great, so I left it as it was. It's sidechain on A2, which is the voiceover track, and A1 is listening to it, and they both send it to bus 1 output to send for the actual video. The final sound goes from bus 1 here. And it's important when if I want to do a recording, I will show you now, because otherwise it's a bit difficult to do the recording, and maybe I will do it later when I will do a recording while voiceover on this thing, like Inception really. Okay, let's leave that for later. I'm already getting sidetracked with this. Important here is to synchronize the sound with the video, and thankfully there is a really nice option for that. It's in the edit page here. Okay, so select all the clips, shift select. Okay, select all the clips and right click, and then you go in the menu. Where is this? Audio. It has some nice AI features. Yeah, audio, auto sync audio, based on timecode, and append tracks. I don't have timecode, so forget it. Based on waveform, this will replace the sound on the camera with the sound from the recorder, and I really don't want that. You might want this, but I prefer to have both of them to be able to switch between them if I need to. I have them already, they're taking space on the drive, so what's the point? And what I use based on waveform and append tracks. If you notice, I set a Control-Alt-Shift-S shortcut, and you can go to keyboard customization here, and any setting that you might want something you keep repeating, you can set a shortcut on this. You don't have to use this one, but I found this one is pretty useful. So Control-Alt-Shift-S, and also I have to generate proxy media, Control-Alt-Shift-P. S for sync, P for proxy. That's how I thought about it. I think it's working pretty well for me. So I will do now Control-Shift-S, and it's starting to sync. This is very quick, the sync, audio sync. You might get some errors if some files are not synchronized. If it's MP4 files, it's okay, but if it's one of the WAV files, then it's a problem, and you will have to create a timeline and synchronize everything manually, and maybe I would have to do that at some point also. And here now I do Control-Shift-P to generate the proxy media. I don't even know where it is on the menu actually, but I think yeah, it's you right click on the file, generate proxy media. Here it's in the menu, but I just do it like this. This will use some of the computer resources and it will take some time depending on how many files and how big they are, and it's better to leave the computer alone while it's finished this. So I will come back when it's finished, when it's ready. Okay, we're back. I took a bit of a break. It was pretty fast. You have to get used to pressing Ctrl S and Shift 1. I press Ctrl S to save, Shift 1 to switch between projects, and most important, Ctrl E. I press Ctrl E to I press Ctrl E to save the project file. It's basically a way to export the file. In case something happened to the Resolve database here, I always have the project file outside. You notice now there is this purple proxy sign. I'll actually hide the effects. Try to make a bit more space. It's not too bad actually on one screen. So actually when I do the first pass, I use the speed editor. If you want to see how the DaVinci Resolve speed editor works, I have a few videos about it. I was thinking to make like different angles here, but I think it's taking too far. When it's going into standby, what's important to know is to press the cut and smooth cut together to wake up the speed editor, and now speed editor. So now I have the intro files on a timeline. I have the watermark in the corner here. That's the watermark, and then the intro is also, they are part of the template. From the template, it's always there. Some interesting animation, that's all. So how I started, I go into source. This with the speed editor, I go into the source tape mode, this button here, or press source on the speed editor. And because the sound is already synchronized on the video files, I don't have to worry about that. It will take the sound from the files automatically when I do the cuts and everything. And now I will show you a bit later about this. So I'm not sure where to start. Okay, so the first video was outside. This was the intro. So I could start here. Yeah, okay. So I'll do this, all the cuts and everything to prepare it. I press base. I go with the wheel. Okay, I go back. And here I press in on the speed editor, or I on the keyboard. But the speed editor works great in this how it's called, not the editing mode, but the cut page. Yeah, that's the cut page. In. Okay, now show you how I record and edit. I show you how to record and edit. So I'm doing it again. In again here. Yeah, I show you how to record and edit video for YouTube. DaVinci Resolve 2.6. So I think here out and then append to end. You see on the below there it was added. So I'll go through this, chew through it with the speed editor, and then later adjust it on the edit page. So maybe I will speed up this part now. Okay, now I'm doing a test. make sure the sound is okay.
How to record and edit video for YouTube. There is one shortcut. So and this is I wanted to show
Okay, it's a bit too loud, so I'll get it lower.
you. Around here.
Okay.
YouTube, DaVinci Resolve 18.6. DaVinci Resolve 18.6. Okay, today I'll show you how I record and edit. I show you how I edit for video, which is of 18.6. Okay. Okay. So first of all, now this is without the separate sound. See this thing here? Now we're need the good sound. This is pitching again. So pitching again. Start to record and hold it to what? Okay. Test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2. And to synchronize, I'm gonna clap. We are using the pocket. This is the way to sync. Okay. This is the way to sync. Okay, this is zero. Okay, this is zero. Okay, okay. This is I think mine is now, and you can see it. Okay, so I'll show you how I record video DaVinci Resolve. I'll show you how I record video DaVinci Resolve. How I record. I'll show you how to edit video with your phone. Now I have my flash. I'll show you how to make a YouTube video with your phone. Now I have my phone recording. This is the next video. I have my file for efforts. And the sound is also expressed because that is has the computer where you can synchronize file, audio file and video file with one click. And we launch it, so I sync. And this is what I do. We should notice. Here's the video. And I do it with one shortcut. So I sync. And this is what I do. Since I'm happy now, this is crossing the street, trying to be safe around here. Missing office. This is totally place. So everyone must have the as a and next will be the video of 6 to such as and with the review this and to other two things interesting. I will also source later. So you can see how the process works from only to export and upload on YouTube. I was thinking first I want to thanks Rather and PM in real life, if I remember your name already. I explained how we talk about this and we pick up about this and one of the what is the one that I do like one use the way of using this result. I can say I'm for some I'm seeing video and who is the first time to get so if some correct with the protocol and I'll show you this the result is really to use for the make sure that's what is more if you have this about it find your video is not so good because one more is to use so and using with the sum and now with the sum of that over the 20 minutes hey I'm for the channel yeah that's like 5 so so things are probably only after voice or I find one the recording checking for keeping the flavor of it that's it and energy to sing the one I'm usually more vivid and also more brightness.
Small world. It's one of those centipedes. If you just keep those things then one way the lessons it's about I think 120 and lessons with it. And you can see it forward including I'm not just now. That's what this is kind of different. I see the link is up. Yeah, so this house go on this kind of I did some from all the these quite good just functioning better not go back I think it's so I should build this out I'm not the yeah so I think it's something that I'm going to pass I should be like no I don't know what happened. I wasn't recording with the phone. So, yeah, I think when I pressed the menu or something, don't look anymore. I'm sure. I didn't record the yeah. I'll show you for you now. Then I have to see it. This is the okay, this is the here. There's like on the left, like on the right middle, and these are the buttons. This is like on as the those are the same capsules as this one I'm using. So it's the same. This was called on this will go out for result. Use the use result. The back of this, my phone will back to use it, this will restore my phone. Get it around. Okay. Okay, so this will be towards the end, and this is for me. Usually it's now for me. Usually when I record itself, I try to use the blue naturalize more easy. I know I put them together. So I should just intro. Could use the intro for 5 videos and also the things on the HD100. The video because it's over 6. You want to do for 16 full frame. Actually, it's effective because we're closer to the subject object. That's the only thing. On the visual, I mean the remote. And the lights so and I'm going to control the eyes because it's the component you see 30. Yeah, I will this. So yeah, cover 60 front. So around 6 and this is just different this I have that's the other one is for the other. When it's advanced for the side, but it's more resist. I'm not sure also doing. It's not some should you have it. Okay, that's the next thing. Okay, so yeah. I support one click on what was doing? Don't know. Then really works with the have pressure piece for the next yes. That is down the position. Send the card, that's the position, and then you pass 3 and 4. So that is not so so now. Now I can see again there. This is so yeah, I can show you from here. I think that's the microphone I keep it covered. And it's on an arm, kind of inside out like that. Headphones. Okay, so I should count now, so I'll stop showing on the phone. Okay, recording the command. Add phone. So we're cooking. This is nice. The camera. The audio record. I have this on me now. And I got something first to test it. I did something I think so. I did this first so nice. Come from the store and cut first good. I'm set. I'm not test. The I like it. So you see that? And this is the way I get it from passport. There was no keyboard treatment. And from customer team, me and then this is time using countries. Today so really good. As the long C pro or long is the point of the subject. This came on for. I'm on the side. On the side. From the for the so this is how beef is what
Today I show you how to record and edit a video for YouTube, DaVinci Resolve 18.6. Okay, so first of all, test 1 2, test 1 2. This is the PCM A10. Sony PCM A10. Starting to record and hold it, lock it. This is that's synchronized now, and you can see it. Okay, so I'll show you how I record video in DaVinci Resolve. I'll show you how to make a YouTube video with your phone. Now I have my phone recording. This is the Sony Xperia 1 Mark V, but any phone works, and the sound is always gonna sync well because DaVinci Resolve has a really cool feature where you can synchronize the file, audio file and video file with one click, and I do it with one shortcut. Crossing the street, trying to be safe around here. From potteries. Okay, this is some pottery place. So I record the video now, starting with the phone and the separate recorder, and the next step will be the camera, recording it with the Panasonic Lumix S5, the original one, not 2 or 2X. I wish 2X, but the original one is okay. And with the separate audio, with this, and to add a twist to it, an interesting spin, I will also add the voiceovers later, so that you can see the whole process, how it works from recording to export and upload to YouTube when it's ready video to upload. I was thinking, first I want to thanks Traveler and PM. I think I did a live. Hope I remember your usernames correctly. I did a live stream on YouTube and we were talking about it. It was a nice
discussion, actually, quick chat about computers, and one of these guys suggested that I would try to do a. One of you suggested that I try to do a tutorial about DaVinci Resolve, how to do things in DaVinci Resolve. I can't say that I'm like a professional with it. I'm sure some things I do completely wrong, and I always try to find some good ways so we can have a faster way to get the video uploaded.
Because I don't want to spend like too much time with it. So we have some shortcuts with how it's called auto hotkey, and I will show you those scripts also. Actually the auto hotkey.
This track, what's recorded on this, will go. I have a template for Resolve. So it's automatic. My camera here, what's important? HDR. Okay, I don't know what happened. I wasn't recording with the phone. So yeah, I think when I pressed in the menu or something, the phone stopped recording, or I'm not sure. Maybe, yeah, this is important. Remember to press record. And yeah, but I did show you before, I can use the video from the camera. Okay, here I could have added, when I was recording the phone and the camera together, I could have made it so I could switch from the phone to the camera. I was thinking to do it now this time, but really I think it would be much more complicated in the video and it would be a bit of a nightmare. And you wouldn't really normally need this. You just record with one camera. 90% of the time we don't have two cameras at the same time. It's very rare that it's like this, only if there's something very fast happening or like a unique event or something where you want to have multiple angles. But otherwise you can just record it again with the camera. And here actually I could have kept some things from showing, and mostly when I scrub through the clips I try to see if there is any personal information. Maybe there is an envelope with my phone number on it or something, or like any of our information there shouldn't be there. That shouldn't be there. I'm trying to find it on the phone. Especially, I'm extra careful not to have any private pictures published on the internet. Most of the time, hopefully, I didn't really get too much of our private information on the internet. I really try, and if you upload to YouTube, this is your number one priority here. Make sure you don't publish videos where your personal information or any private details are there. I mean, there are some things that should be not public for sure. And it's up to you how much you share, but once you share it, it's not unshared. You can't unshare it. So you have to know about this limit. It's very easy to get carried away and share too much about yourself. Like I tried to talk less, not too much talking, but it happens that you might share more than you're willing to share. And this is a pretty low effort edit. I mean, I could have edited here some parts. For example, normally I would go here and then Control B to split this part, Control B again, delete to remove the part, but I have to put it back. There is this stream editing. You can remove it like this, but this video is not really about the editing itself. You can learn what each buttons here do, all the buttons do. I don't really know all of them, what they know. I mean, I probably know like 10% of what the Resolve can do. It can do so many things. One thing I will show you here, I have the watermark and I go into trim. No, actually in the trim. Let me show you what happens if I'm in the trim mode and I extend this. It will extend the whole timeline. I don't know how to prevent that, but I know that I can go into the normal editing mode, and when I extend it, it will not do that. And this is the limit, but I can do Control R to extend the speed to make it slower, and that's the way to extend it there. Also, I'll go to the intro.
DaVinci Resolve 18.6.
Make sure that it's in the right place here. It's not on some weird place. I think it's fine there. So these low effort edits, it's what usually happens. Audio track 2 is audio track 2 here. It's the voiceover, and when I'm outside with the from that lavalier microphone. I synchronize again. So yeah, now if you've waited until here, you went so far in this video, I have a small gift for you. Secrets that not many people would tell you, and actually they're not really secrets, it's very common information, but many times people overlook these things. So if you went so far in the video, and this video probably it should have been like 5 minutes, how those tutorials are, but I felt like I wanted to show you everything about this workflow, basically how it goes from the import, recording, the import, and then the settings and everything. So most important here, in the file project settings, the reason why it's HDR, it's first I have the settings of the timeline. I don't know why it shows here 2997. Which timeline? 4K 60. So I don't know. I think it's the project timeline, project setting, but you can override this in a timeline. Okay, here the video depth 10-bit. I didn't really go too much in details here to change things, but one important thing is the proxy media resolution 1.8. If I make it 1.16, it's too small and it fails. But if it's higher, the files are getting bigger. So I want the proxy media to be the smallest possible. Then here are the cache location. And here is the cache location. This is an NVMe drive, an old drive, and it creates this proxy media, or is it current? This one. Let's say for this folding video, and the file size, this is 428, but actually if you see the media info, on this, what is it, 480 by 2070, so it's very 17 mega per second, so it's very small, very low quality. It's like an old style video. It's really like an old style video, so that's why it's easier to play when using the proxies. It's much faster to scroll through the timeline and everything. Now, scale entire image to fit. This I like to use this one, so it's easier so I don't have to adjust size or anything. Here is very important. This is why this project is HDR, and why even what I record on the screen, which is not HDR, it will show as HDR in the final project, in the final file. You have the color science mode, DaVinci YRBG color managed. Color managed means I'll take care of it. Resolve will take care of it. And it does. And automatic color management. I'm not sure if I take this while I was in here. This is going to be such a long video. Automatic color management. And here, simple choice, HDR versus HDR. HDR versus SDR. If you didn't record HLG and you don't want to export in HDR, you can use here, you can choose SDR, Rec 709. And output color space for HDR, it's could be, this is HDR Rec 709, so I could edit in HDR but export as SDR if I wanted to. It's good to record in HDR, I believe, so you can have the option to export in HDR later. So I have SDR Rec 709, SDR Rec 2020, and HDR HLG, HDR PQ. PQ is for YouTube if you want to upload to YouTube, maybe other platforms too. It's either HLG or PQ if you want to upload HDR. And I set this to 1000 nits, but I don't have an HDR monitor, so it doesn't really matter. You can enable Dolby Vision, but it's only, you can't make adjustments to it, but you can enable it if you want to. It will add metadata to it. I don't know. You think I should enable this setting? I don't know. But it needs a separate license if I want to make adjustments to it, or it's an extra thing to analyze. Enable HDR10 Plus. This I have it enabled because I want to run HDR10 Plus analysis on the video files, and then it will add metadata. Each frame it will have information about the brightness, and so the display knows how to show it correctly. HDR Vivid, it's something similar to HDR10 Plus, but I don't really need that. Yeah, I don't know what else to show you here. I really want to show you everything so you can actually do everything like it is. Save clip. This is the audio recordings are saved in this folder. So I don't know, I made a mistake. I put them in this temporary folder. It's really confusing because I might delete that by mistake, and it's all voiceovers. I move them out once in a while, but still it could be not a great thing. Okay, so that's the project settings, and I did the edit, and here on the color page I have a template, and the template is basically small adjustments to curves, to this here, because I don't have the two monitors, it's a bit I will show you. Okay, I will switch between the screens so you see better. Okay, desktop 2. Okay, this is it's showing. Okay, here I have it on the left side of the screen in the color page. I have here histogram and the waveform, and it's playing in real time.
Crossing the street, trying to be safe around here. From
Yeah.
potteries. Okay. There's some pottery.
You can see here, for example, there is this. Let me switch. This is really weird. So I have this in the image, in the picture. I have this white balance, and there is an option to set the white balance easily from there. But I don't know. I tried it a few times, and it wasn't very. I don't know. I didn't like it. But if you wanna set the white balance more or less with your eyes, you can use this parade here, and this one when the screen is white, because that's, you saw it on the screen, it was a bit more white, more or less white. You can adjust from here. Let's put this. You can adjust from the global settings here. Let's see, maybe I can switch to one screen. Okay. Let's see if I hide effects, and View, show panel. Okay, panel, not panel. Anyway, I can adjust those parade effects to match the white balance here, and I can do that with the HDR wheels. It can turn into really different colors, some crazy colors. And the thing here, I'm adjusting one clip, but what's happening here is that I can select all the clips and then add them to a group. So now they're all in group 1, and if I want to do a bit of color correction, here on the top right I will say group post clip, and now this color correction node, I don't want to go into too much of details of this because it's not about color grading. I'm not great at it. Everything I do, I just try to make the video look less weird. So this HDR mode on this one, and okay, if I wanted to blur something, I would add here, add a serial node on after it, for example, and I could add some shape. I could add a shape here to my face if I wanted to blur my face, and add one effect like a lens blur to this node, and you see already my face is a bit blurry. Okay, but it's only on this area. And if I wanted to also add another effect on the same, for whatever reason, to make some, I don't know, some invert colors like this. I mean, it's very powerful, but also easy to make things look bad. And if I wanted to, I was trying these effects and I want to get rid of them, I just delete the node and they're all gone. This is the option there. Most of the time I would really adjust, make small adjustments. I have these adjustments to the curve, very tiny small adjustments there. And also the HDR10, it will need to be analyzed, and you have this map. These things, they have to be in the center. This is all I know about this, but it also depends what's in your scene and what you're trying to do. And if you want to add the tracking option, like for example, if I have in this node, I could add some shape. I could add a shape like, you know, this thing is really, I don't know how to make it so it's not, because I have to do them like this one by one. I'm sure there is like a simple shortcut for this instead of having to drag them like that. Okay, so if I wanted to do some, I don't know, make it darker, so I could just, or do a tracking. Yeah, let's do the tracking. So lens blur on this one. Okay, so it's for my eyes, so you don't see my eyes, and I can do a tracking on this device, on this object, and I press play here to track forward. Not on this. Oh, perfect. Okay. Anyway, this is on the, not on the post clip, so I should delete it from there. I don't know, I have a feeling that I could mess things up too much if I do it on the original. Ctrl Z, undo. Okay, so I don't know if I really messed it up now, but looks okay. So I go to clip, the clip object color correction, and I should add the object first, my face, and then I add the lens blur and like that. And now I want to track the blur size. I could just make one eye like that. Okay, so tracking, I have the object selected. I press play here and it should start forward tracking. It's very fast, really surprising how well it works, and it will adjust the real time. This is real time now. It will adjust the object position, rotation, and it really almost looks like it's there in real life. And I'm recording now with OBS, and the graphics card is doing this. I think it should be working really hard now. It's really working hard, the graphics card on this. Even you see when I turn to the other side, it's turning with me. So if I play it now, it will show like it's there. Yeah, now it's a bit slow because it's really trying to rebuild the cache. Let's go to the other one.
Here.
Also, if you add some color adjustments to your clips, you can always use this button to disable all the color correction. When you do the export, it will re-enable it. So I will leave that in there. I will leave it so you see it like a bonus tip. Someone who doesn't watch this part, they will not understand why my...
Here it's mono, and I use
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, you saw it now, it's done, it's rebuilt. Where is it? I lost it either.
Here it's mono, and I use...
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's amazing, really. So let's watch here with the color correction. Yeah, okay, so see, I learned also while we're doing this, because it was disabled, the actual effect, you will not see it, but you see the mask where it will do it.
It's mono, and I use...
Okay, so I will leave that in there as an Easter egg for those who didn't watch until the end, and it's gonna be a really long video. This is the information they missed. So okay, now I will do a voiceover for this. So let's go to the end, or maybe to the beginning. Okay, so I have to find the place. Also there is this fusion, but it's anything I do here, it takes forever. So I try to avoid the fusion as much as possible. Titles, they make it a bit slower. It's actually titles, they're also a bit difficult with HDR, because the white in the title doesn't look white on the screen eventually. If I do some kind of I change the color modes, but yeah, I try to avoid the titles. So what I do now, I have to record on track 2, and I find an empty spot on track 2. Okay, and I press record, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't stay on. It doesn't stay on because I have to set the input. On A2, I click input, and because I have the Rode AI1, I click Rode AI1 and then Audio 2, and it patches them together. Yeah, I have to disable the track effects, this too. These are using some AI processing, some complicated stuff I don't keep it 100%. I don't know how it should be, these settings. Really, I'm trying to learn also how it's better to use this. Okay, so on audio track 2, input, click on line one or whatever audio inputs you have from your computer and to whatever track you have. This is a mono track, and click patch. So now we are ready to go into the OBS. Okay, so while it's recording in OBS, this is recording in OBS also. Test. Okay, and it's going to be recording also here, and I press the record button and should do something. Yeah, it doesn't show it, and I have to change the settings and the project to so it doesn't play back, because the important thing is not to hear back what you're recording. I hear myself from the audio interface, from the monitor of the audio interface. I would hear in the headphones some sounds that are on the track 1, but not what's on the track 2. And that's because otherwise I will have a delay in the sound and it's going to be very confusing. And now let's play it. Press space button and should do something. Yeah, it doesn't show it, and I have to change the settings and the project to so it doesn't play back, because the important thing is not to hear back what you're recording. I hear myself from the audio interface, from the monitor of the audio interface. I would hear in the headphones some sounds that are on the track 1, but not what's on the track 2. And that's because otherwise I will have a delay in the sound and it's going to be very confusing. And now let's play it. So it doesn't. Okay, I just realized now that the sound from the microphone when I talk, it's a bit not as loud as the one when I was in the street. Right, camera in the middle. And so I'm gonna try a trick now. I will unlink them, click this button to unlink so I don't select, when I select this, I can select them independently, and I move them on the next one, on audio 3. And I change this to mono, change the track type to mono. And now on audio 3, I will also put a limiter. I will actually alt drag with the mouse another limiter, and I can set it to the voiceover, make it a bit higher. This kind of like antennas, it's the same microphone button. Okay, and should do something. Yeah, it increasing the main doesn't show it, and I have to change the settings and the project to okay, one more secret here for you especially to know this. In the loudness here, this loudness meter is very important, because the LUFS meter on YouTube should be maximum -14. If it's -13, it means it's too loud, and -12 really too loud, and it will lower the volume. While you play the video, it will lower the volume for you, and you don't want that. I mean, okay, it's still good, it's doing that, so it's not too loud for the viewers. You click here on these buttons and you can choose, now it has YouTube. Before it had Netflix, so I chose Netflix, but let's try YouTube now. Okay, so now I synchronize again. Okay, so I think it's the same. Again. Okay, so now I synchronize again. Button and button. Change the settings and the project to so it doesn't. Okay, going back to the project YouTube. To so it doesn't play back. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at YouTube. Before I had it with Netflix, but they updated it, looks like, and perfect. Even Disney, and because the important thing. Okay, I think once this is done, I'll put a marker there so we know to play something with it. I'll just copy the video from this part. Control B. Oh, that's the watermark. Control B, Alt and drag with the mouse. Click here, Control B. Not delete. I try to avoid using delete because delete will rearrange the timeline somehow in strange ways. Button. And okay, should do something. Yeah, it doesn't show it, and I have to change the setting. Now this sound is from something else, and I have the sound a bit lower on OBS, so hopefully it wasn't too low for you. The project so it doesn't. Okay, so I'll have to add the OBS clips also now. So just a moment. Okay, I'm adding the OBS clips. I started a new one, so it doesn't bother the other ones. So I don't know. This is a bit difficult to show you at the same time and record it. And I add the files to the project, and I'm just gonna drag them onto the timeline really, and don't care much about anything. Like okay, test second desktop, main desktop, the file. Have the option to export in. Okay, so the sound was okay. I got a bit worried to see that those HDR later. So I have HDR Rec 7. Okay, so what's from the values like this. Also, there is what's from OBS. I want to put it on audio 3, and also on audio 3 I want to change this to the same voiceover setting. The limiter on the back, but actually there's nothing to let me think about it. Here you have send, so this is the source to tell the other track, which is this one, when to reduce the sound. So this is used for the background, and this is set to listen. And when I think this is just some extra. I don't know what to do with it now. I think I'll drag it into another audio 4 and mute audio 4, or maybe leave it as it is. I will leave it as it is. I talk, the sound in the background will be reduced automatically. So I put this one on audio 4 and mute the audio 4 without anything. It's really like a magic. It's really working. So if you went so far in the video, and this video, it's a bit loud on this part. It's really like a game of trying a little bit. I will put this. Okay, make audio track change to stereo, because there might be some sounds from the desktop. Here it's important not to drag them too far on the right or the left. If it shows with the minus or plus red, it means it's not synchronized with the video anymore. There is this file, and I will copy the name. This is exactly, I'm showing exactly. It's like an old, now you can hear in stereo, this old style video. It's really like an old style video, so that's what, it's easier. Okay, I'll leave them on track 1. Probably it should have been like 5 minutes, how those tutorials are, but I I felt like I wanted to show you everything about this workflow, basically how it goes from the import. Most important, once you play, while you play it, the longer you play it, the more it stabilizes here. This number should be 14 or higher. 14, 15, 16, like this is okay, but if it's 13, 12, 10, it's not okay because it's too loud. I have them separate here. We keep them in different folders, the source files and the project. Okay, recording with the camera and the phone. Okay, so I got back in. Now I do this to synchronize the camera with the audio recorder. I have this on. Okay, it looks like it's not picking up from this. It's not picking up the. Yeah, I should have them on to send to on a bus, and then because I have them set up to from one track sends to another one. But okay, let's see how to do this now. So listen. Okay. And it's listening. This is the side chain. Yeah, I should add this side chain there also. I think now it should be okay. Me now. I did. Yeah, I don't know now. I did it before to send this use a bus, like these two go to bus 2, for example. Let's try actually. So side chain. Okay. That snapping of. It's very easy to mess things up here. So I'm gonna leave it like this with the side chain on bus on A2, and I will move these ones to A2. My fingers to test. Yeah, and to put back the track effects, I have to remove the input and then voice isolation and dialogue leveler. Also different settings, but the most important synchronized. So we have the lights. Okay. I record in stereo. This video is gonna be so long. Movie mode, and it's auto. It's very easy to. It could have 3-4 videos together. It's very easy to waste a lot of time here, so don't get over carried away with too many changes and everything. Okay, so the sound is more or less decent. It's not like amazing, but it's gonna work. And now, now there is this step that's gonna take a while, and I have to do it separately for this OBS recording also, the one that I'm currently doing. These are the existing ones, but the one currently doing, I have to add it later. So I select all the clips. Actually, I don't have to select them because it's gonna do it anyway. On the color tab, then you go HDR 10 plus, analyze all shots. And if you notice, Control-Alt-Shift-A, that's for analyze. So Control-A, Control-Alt-Shift-A, and this is going to start now to analyze the brightness and contrast or whatever is analyzing for HDR 10 plus metadata. This metadata will go into the video file embedded, and YouTube will read it and make the video look nice and HDR. I chose it so it also adds it to a separate file, but it also embeds it. So this is gonna take a while now, especially because it's a lot of files in it. Anywhere between 10 minutes, half hour, 1 hour, it depends on the graphics card you have. Now the graphics card I have is only 6 giga of memory and it's barely usable. It's at the limit really. I believe 16 giga graphics card would be ideal. 24 giga RTX 3090, 4090, 4080 Super was something I was looking at to increase the speed of this, but it's okay. I can leave it. I can let it do its thing and check the phone, check some emails, browse, watch some YouTube videos. So we'll be back when this is finished. You can check the time now, 10:17, but when it's finished I might not come back immediately. Okay, let's continue. Okay, I even forgot what I was doing. It took such a long time. 11:30. So okay, all the HDR analyzing, it's done. And this part I didn't link it to the group, I just realized, but whatever, I'm not going to change anything now. And yeah, one more tip I wanted to share with you on the timeline. So if I copy this timeline and I put it here as a new timeline, the HDR HDR10 Plus analysis will still be left there, so it's better to do that. And if I wanted to convert this timeline into a short format, what I do, which I'm not sure if it's really the best thing, is, for example, here I have the 5994, the frame rate, this wouldn't change, and 3840 by 2160, this is Ultra HD, and that's in timeline settings. And if you want to make it how I usually do this, in output untick the use timeline settings, and through trial and error I realized that changing 1216 by 2160 and then center crop with no resizing here and scale image to fit on the first one makes the crop. And not only that, but you can actually do this one, yeah, you can actually do some really interesting trick here. You can have, let's try. So I can move the camera around. For example, on this clip, I can start with position, set the position here, and I can actually move it left and right like that. So as you can see, you can see here the position changes. Maybe this is not the best part to show you this. I just wanted to show you this step also. And that's the short. I delete it. And I like to make, here I make the file name, the timeline name. There I want to make the timeline name the same as the project name, so it's easy to export it. So now I have this one, timeline, add to render queue, HDR10 Plus. This is a preset I have. And the timeline I have opened, it's not that one. And I want to extend the watermark on this one. And on the export tab here I have the custom settings, HDR10 Plus. So what this I changed here is I export as QuickTime H.265 encoder is NVIDIA, and I export HDR10 metadata and HDR10 embedded metadata. Export means it creates a separate file, and embed means it will add it to the video. For YouTube you don't need the export separate file, but I export it just in case if I need it later, and I will show you now this part. For the resolution, it's gonna be the timeline resolution, and it can be switched to vertical if it needs to be switched. Bitrate, I choose main 10, the main 10 encoder, and 70 mega per second constant bitrate, because before it was working fine with variable, but for some reason the variable might decrease the bitrate, and I want to make sure it has at least 70 mega per second, because it's 4K 60, and because it's HDR it needs more bitrate, this number, the lower the bitrate, the more blocky, the more artifacts you will see in the picture. So it makes the file size bigger, but not a lot bigger. And I wanted to show you, there is also, I have the preset for shorts. This is my preset 1216 by 2160 with vertical resolution 4K, not 4K, but this resolution 60, and bitrate 60 mega per second. The same settings, main 10. So I did okay, so I prepared that one for export, but I want to make, because it's a bit difficult to show you how I do it and actually do the export. It's really not easy to make this video actually. So let's try to show this part maybe. And I put in and out, and I will export this file as HDR10 plus test name, and I will render this file 1. And you see it's only doing this part that I highlighted. I'm doing this to show you that the final file, and it's about 39 frames per second usually, but now because I'm recording, OBS is taking some processing power, and yeah, we should have it, the test here. So we have this HDR10, or is it here? There is this HDR10 file, and you see frame rate information for each frame. Doesn't really change much because the scene didn't really change. And this is the video file. With the phone, I have a USB-C cable. Sounds a bit loud. With the phone, I have a USB-C cable. Usually I have it at 15, the recorder, but this time I don't know why I had it at 17. So a 32-bit recorder, is much more useful for this, so you can reduce the sound. I think some parts are even clipping. Yeah, sorry for that. That's how it is. So now we have the bitrate 72 mega per second and 60 frames per second, 5994. HEVC main 10, level 6.1 high. I guess it's good, that thing. And what I wanted to show you now, because it's changed the version of this, the version of media info. This is a really nice program to view quickly information about video file. It was showing the, where is it now? The information that it's HLG, but I don't know now where it is. This video is so long, so I'm not gonna trim this part. This is the real time. What you see here is what you get. Maybe here. Okay. So yeah, okay, this one. Okay, so we have color range limited, transfer characteristics HLG, this is the important part, and matrix coefficients BT 2020 non-constant. This is the properties of the HDR when you have it in the media info, and inside the file you will have also all the information about each frame, the brightness of each frame. For this, you will have the average brightness, maximum, and I don't know exactly what these things are. So now I can render the final file, but actually I'm doing a trick here now because this recording will be in the final file. So guess what? I had to stop here to add the clip I'm recording right now, and then that's the final file. And really, thanks for watching. It's sometimes the render speed is very slow, like 2 frames per second here. So when that happens, I restart Resolve Studio, and then it's okay. This is the paid version of Resolve, and because it's that version, the studio version, it uses the graphics card to do the processing. So now you see it's 2 frames per second. It's very slow. So if for just to do a test, I could try to close it. This is most probably because of the graphics card I have. The memory is very low, 4.7, and I realized that I could do this. I closed Resolve just before the export because it's using the proxies for the whole workflow. All the steps are using the proxies except for the export. During the export it will use the actual files, unless you tell it to use the optimized media files, which might be something you want or no, I don't know, it depends. I'm not sure if I want that. I wanted to use the original files, the full quality files. That's why I have them. So now I open it again. This is my Resolve hack to use on a low-end GPU. Low-end GPU. So now let's see the number. 10, 24, 42, 36. Usually it's 39, 40 like this. But even now, while I'm doing this, I'm recording this video with OBS. So it's really doing pretty well. Really well actually. 35. So it's around 35, 36 frames per second. I will stop this. I will cancel this render, add this clip to the video. And thanks for watching. Hopefully this really helps you, and if you watched so far into the video, thanks for watching. And if you did skip the video, which you shouldn't have, you missed some really important information at different parts of the video. I'm not gonna make chapters because it's a really long story. So if you did skip through the video and you go to the end now to get some like a summary, you have the summary inside the video, so watch it at double speed if you need to. This is what I would do. Watch it at 1.7x, 2x, 1.75x or 2x. And there are some tips in the video that at some points I show you secrets. Okay, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully you find this video helpful. And if it does help, give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section below that this is helpful for you. I wish there was a video like this to show all these things. These things I really slowly figure them out, and There is also the auto hotkey script. I didn't really talk about that one much. So there is this script. I have an auto hotkey script where it's I use markers in a timeline to split the markers to keep basically with the markers. I can split the timeline in multiple timelines, if it makes sense. This is the script. It's really useful, that one for me. So I'll do the export now and you will watch the video from this export. Thanks for watching. Bye. There must be some next video to watch. Oh yeah.